In this tutorial what I'm going to explain is that how you are going to use, right, this alternative resources concept in your project. So here if you can check it, I have already created drawable land and the drawable port over here, right? Drawable land and drawable port. Now what I'm going to do is that I have already downloaded two images, codecool.png, right? Then I can say IC underscore brand. I'll name it as IC underscore brand. So let me copy this image. And I'm going to put it under the landscape folder, right? Let me open this folder and let me open this folder in the files, showing the files, and let me paste it over here, IC underscore brand. Again I am going to have one more image that is nothing but the Miller logo. So let me copy that image and paste it under the portrait, right? But let me change the name. Same name I am going to put IC underscore brand. Remember that images are different but name of the image is the same. So you have these two, right? Landscape and the portrait. Even we can have one image for our this. I can use this Hulk image. I can use this Hulk image as a default one. Let me paste it over here and name should be same, IC underscore brand, right? I have these two, 1 2 3 drawable folders. 3 drawable folders would be having 3 different images but with the same name. On the landscape this is going to get selected, on the portrait this is going to get selected, on the none this default one is getting selected. So having the default is a good idea. Having the default folder is a good idea, otherwise your application is going to get crashed at the runtime, right? Okay, now I have these three over here. Now let's have some image view, and I can say src over here, src, and here you can provide add drawable IC underscore brand. We have something IC underscore brand. You haven't provided anything rather than this. It will select the image automatically on the configuration change, right? Okay, now let me run the code and see what happens. Now it will run the code in the emulator, but the things to note that whenever you are using multiple configuration qualifiers, sequence is very important from this table, right? Sequence is very important from this table. Okay, so it's loading the app into the emulator now. Now you will see one default image over here, right? You will see one default image as per the phone configuration, not from the default folder but from the phone configuration. So these are called as configuration qualifiers, right? So you can check the language. If phone's language is something like that, if the phone's language is something English, then what you are going to show in the layout, right? You can decide as per that. Now let me change the orientation. See, it is changing automatically, right? It is changing automatically. You haven't written any algorithm for this. That is pre-built by the Android, right? But in this strategy we have already seen in this module that Android kills the activity and Android recreates the activity. That's the drawback of this system, right? We have already seen Android kills the activity and Android reforms the activity. That's the problem with this. So you can provide configuration qualifier to any of the resource you want over here. Put your business logic, think on your business logic, right? If it is in the landscape mode, I want to do this thing. If it is in the portrait mode, I want to do this thing. Now you can add some multiple qualifiers over here. See, drawable, right? Hyphen English hyphen landscape. Then this will happen. Drawable hyphen, what you can say, French hyphen port. This will happen, right? So as per the configuration qualifiers, you can select your any of the resource, and this is how you will make your application available for all the phones. You need to just think about the width and the height. If this is width and height, select this folder, right? Something like this. Okay, so this is about how you will work with the alternative resources and how you will handle the change, runtime change, that we have seen over here by means of what you can say on saved instance state and on restore instance state, that we have discussed in the last lecture, right? Okay, that's another part. Now there is one thing more as well, right? So this is how Android is handling, but you are not allowed to recreate the activity. You are not going to destroy. I'll show you that thing. See, here I am going to call on destroy, right? On destroy, and let me write the toast over here before app is getting destroyed. See, toast, create the new toast, this, and you can say on destroy, something like this, right? Toast.make text, this on destroy, and this thing. Now let me run the code and show you activity is getting killed and it is getting recreated, that we have seen, right? Now see, on destroy is getting called. Can you see this thing? On destroy is getting called. See, again and again you are killing the activity and you are restarting the activity. That would be the problem. Now in this case, what I want to do is that I want to handle the runtime change or handle the configuration change on my own. I want to handle the configuration change on my own. Okay, now that's for that explanation I have created this module already, right? Now let me create same layout over here. Image view I can have. See, image view, and the ID @ plus ID image view, I would be having image view over here, and match parent and the match parent and the match parent. Full screen relative layout I have taken, right? Full screen relative layout I have taken. Now I want to tell the Android system, you are not allowed to handle the runtime changes. I am going to handle it for these many configurations. See, I'll go to the activity, and into the activity, right? Into the activity you will find config changes. What configuration you are going to handle? You can say orientation or screen size. So I am going to handle these many configuration on my own without recreating the activity. I am going to handle the configuration changes on my own without handling, without killing the activity on config changes, this thing, right? So if you are doing that thing, you are going to have on configuration changed is the callback you are going to get over here. Whenever Android system will change the configuration, this method would be getting called automatically, right? This method would be getting called automatically, and here you are just going to change if new config, right, dot orientation is exactly equals to configuration dot portrait, then do this thing. Else if new config dot orientation is landscape, then do this thing, or in the default one do this thing, right? Now what I'm going to do is that in the drawable folder straight away I'm going to paste some images. In the downloads you can have, sorry, on the desktop, this, let me copy over here this and paste it. See, I haven't changed the name is same because I am handling the runtime configuration change on my own, right? Now see, if orientation is portrait, here you are going to say find view by id r.id. image view, let me typecast it to image view, and you can say dot set image resource r dot drawable dot ic underscore brand, that's fine. On this ic underscore or say me layer, and otherwise Android logo r dot map dot ic underscore launcher, that's fine, right? That's fine. And here let me override on destroy, and before activity is getting destroyed I can have this and I can call on destroy like this, right? Now you will see same impact, right? Now you can see the same thing over here. Okay, this is by Android itself. Let me stop the app and let me create new one. Let me select another module and just run the thing and see. So this method is going to be get called when Android's configuration is going to be changed, and you are going to get new configuration object over here, and on that new configuration object you are checking your configuration, right? See, can you see this thing, then this thing, that's working. But on destroy, have you find on destroy is getting called? No, it is calling on restart. Activity is getting restarted. You will not find activity is getting called on destroy anywhere. And this is an efficient way of working with, because activity is not getting killed anyways. Activity is same, activity is not getting killed. Yes, it is going to be called on restart instead of on create, right? So that's about handling the runtime configurations by Android's way and by your own way. Android's way, making the configuration qualifiers, make the different resources with the different qualifier names. Android's way, Android will kill the activity. This is your own way. You are handling the runtime configuration on your own in this fashion, right? So things to note over here is that config changes in the activity, this thing, this is very important one, and overriding the configuration change is very important one in this case, this thing. Okay, so that's about handling the runtime configuration change. Now next topic, I am going to start with simple value resources. Right, we are going to see some simple value resources. What are that? So keep watching.